Hello everyone and welcome to iCompute US. In this video demonstration, I'm going to be going through the terminal tab to generate a Dockerfile specific for our software. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll first log in, and there are a couple of ways to log into iCompute. The first one would be to create an account associated with your own email account and everything. And the second one would be to log in with CI logon, which is linked with most university accounts or research accounts. I'm going to use CI logon since my credentials are already there. Once we're in, we're going to be redirected to the home page and we're going to go over to the terminal tab. As we're here, we're going to see a welcome message and we can do a quick check if we have everything. There's some old files from my previous run, so I'm going to quickly delete them. And we're good. So once we're beginning, we have to upload any software files that we have or source code that we might have that is going to be used for building a Docker file that is correct. You can either upload a single file if your software is not that complex, or if you have a lot of source code, you can choose to upload the whole folder here. I'm going to go ahead and upload my file, which is this. It's a program in Fortran. And once we click upload, let me do a quick check if it's here, and it is here. So once you have all the files uploaded, we're going to go ahead and type out basil-b, which triggers the script for generating our Docker file. Once we hit enter, we're going to see the available set of base images, and we can pick any one we want. For mine, I'm going to go with option 4, which is Ubuntu Mantic. Next up, it's asking for a work directory. This is the location from which all the installation commands and everything are going to be run. So I'm just going to use this one. For variables, my software does not require the use of some of these inputs that it's going to be asking for. So I'm just going to go ahead and skip some of these. But for your own software, you might require the use. So it's better to be careful and read the descriptions that are being shown along with it, and you'll know what you need. For variables, I'm going to skip ahead. Now this is the copy command, and I have to enter the relative file path. So I'm going to specify the file name that I want here, which is test.f90, hit enter, and the location that I want to copy it to. I'm going to put that here. You want to add this to this? Yes. And this for the next file, if you have multiple, you can keep typing them out. I only have a single one, so I'm going to skip ahead. Now it's the option for advanced copy. I do not require this since I already did the copy one. I'm going to skip ahead. It's asking me if I want to mount any volumes to my software, which is going to be mounted to the Docker image in turn. Since I do not require it, go ahead. I don't want any ports to be exposed either, since it's not going to be online. Now it's asking me about if there are any software packages or dependencies that are required to complete the installation. And I do have a compiler that I need. I'm going to put that here. Yes. Now for the commands for building the code, including any commands required for running the prerequisite software packages. So I do have a command for my software. And it's this. I'm going to hit enter. I want to add this, please. Next up, we have the entry and default commands, which are really important in a Dockerfile. The notion of entry and default commands, if you're not familiar with it, please give this paragraph a read. It does a really good job of explaining it really well, both commands and what your software might need. So if you're at all confused about what to use and if you have to use both, please give it a read, and I'm sure your confusions will be cleared by the time you finish reading this. For my software, I don't require the use of entry command, but I do require the use of a default command. So I'm going to put that out here. Now it's asking us if we want to attach a license to our Docker image. It's totally optional, and if you do want to use it, you just have to enter the number that's associated with that license. For my software, I do not want a license right now, so I'm just going to pick the last one, which means no license, which is option 38. Enter that. Yes, I do not want a license. And the doc file has been generated. As you can see, I have the base image here, the work directory, the copy command, and the run command, which includes my compiler and the setup command. And finally, I have the default command as cmd. Finally, it's asking us if you would like to upload the build Docker image to Docker Hub. If I select yes, it's going to prompt me for the Docker Hub username and the access token, and the build image is going to be pushed to that specific Docker Hub account. If I select no, as I'm going to do right now, it's going to send me an email with all the necessary files. So even if I don't push to Docker Hub, I'm still going to get all the required files to do everything myself. I'm going to select no here, and the process is run and the build job is submitted. Please check your email for the results. And it takes some time for the email to get to you, so please don't get worried. It takes some time for the Docker image to be built and all the files to be edited and built and then sent out to you. So it's going to be there. So just give it some time. In my case, I do have an email form that was built from a previous run. It's going to look like this once you do get the email. The sender is going to be icomputeus@gmail. And as you can see, I have 4 file attachments, which is readme.txt. That includes a basic set of instructions, which is all encompassing. It's good for different OS, whatever you need to build the Docker image, everything's going to be in there. So please give it a read if you're confused about what to do next. Next up, we have the license. Uh, in this case, I did not select license. So if you do not select a license, this attachment is not going to be there. If you do select a license and you do end up editing the license with your name or your designation or a copyright notice and all that stuff specific to that license, the edited license is also attached as an email. Next, we have the Docker file, which is the build Docker file we just saw on the terminal tab. It's also given to us for download. And finally, we have the vulnerability analysis, which is an analysis check run through Snake, which runs through your whole Docker file and gives out any recommendations that possibly might be there for your specific Docker file. So you can continue improving it and avoid any vulnerabilities if there are any. Now for the email content itself, it's going to be in this form, and you get a link to download your image and a basic set of instructions, how to load it and how to run it. They're all given here. So that's it for the email, and all your files are going to be here. If you uploaded a folder, they're going to be inside that folder. Since I did not upload a folder, they're just going to be in the base directory here. You can see the Docker file. If I do a quick cat, that's the one that was just made. And what else is there? We have the YAML file as well, which is used in turn to create the Docker file. It's pretty similar to a Docker file. It has the same input fields. And we have the base test file, which was just simple math calculations that I used to check if it's running perfectly or not. And it was. So thank you so much. I hope this video helped you in understanding how to use the terminal tab on iCompute, and have a good day.